whole time my screen's not even being presented. So I guess I just got to make sure. But I want to talk about having an equal emotional investment, what that means, especially when you're dialing leads, like when you're taking outbound. I know a majority of us are using outbound as our lead source, whether you're taking TTC leads, if you're generating your own leads, or you're just going through a vendor. It doesn't matter. Dialing is dialing, right? So sometimes what we'll do is we'll reach out to certain people who are crushing it in the business. They're writing a lot of AP, and we're trying to figure out what they're doing that works, and what they do works for them because they found that on top of having a foundation that already works for them, they found a more efficient way to do what they're already doing. And what I mean by that is I'm going to make a pledge that every 100 dials or 3 hours of talk time will equate to one sale. It definitely will. Most agents are under 3 hours of talk time. Okay. Most people are making a sale with 2 to 2.5 hours of talk time. That's my pledge. If you have leads in a queue and you only have 100 dials, but you bought those leads 2 weeks ago, don't ask anybody what they're doing to be successful. Don't ask them what kind of website they have or what lead source they're taking. Please, guys, if you have 200 dials and you bought leads 2 weeks ago, don't ask. Your metric should be 100 dials per day. Regardless if you make a sale or not, that's going to give you enough information to make business decisions in your business. This is just a numbers game. It is not an emotional game. There is a place where we do get emotional, but it's strategic emotion. Okay, there is a place that we get emotional, but it's strategically placed in our scripts. Here's what I mean by emotional investment. When you're on the phone with the client and they expressed interest, you're in the quotes with them and you build rapport. This is where you invest your emotions into the conversation with them. Now, if they tell you, hey, look, I'm not really interested in this life insurance, or they cuss you out in the beginning of the phone call, they're just a number, right? So this is where judgments come in. There's a Stoic philosopher who talks about, actually, I think just the philosophy of Stoicism in general says it's not our judgments that make us upset or make us worry. It's our opinions about judgments, right? So I'm not saying don't judge the leads. I mean, obviously you're going to have to. That's part of being a human. That's a part of our nature. But it's your opinions about those judgments, right? Do these leads suck? Or can I do a little bit better at maybe reaching out? Can I be a little bit more crafty about these campaigns or these texts? Or is there anything else I can do, right, before we switch gears? So when do you know? When is a good time to know when it's okay to invest your emotions? Well, give me an example of what a no is. I want to know what your guys's example is. Like if I say, hey, Ash, like I want you to get 10 no's today, which sounds backwards, right? Because all we do is focus on outcomes. And when we focus on outcomes or making a sale, right, having a good outcome, and we don't get that good outcome, is very discouraging. It's very discouraging, especially if you're gonna get like 10 to 20 no's before you get a yes. So why not go for the no's? Right? So, but what exactly is a no? If I answer
Yep.
is that a no? That's a good, all right, that's a good, we could put that in there. Is a hang up a no? Any other, who else has what their definition of a no is?
Thought it was free and you can't get past it.
Okay, so we got free.
I only work with local agents.
We got local agents. Okay. So if somebody calls the phone and as soon as you say, hey, this is Anthony with the senior benefits department, how's it going today? Click.
I have one too. It's kind of like free, but it's also, they think it's literally the government, which is kind of free, but they think they bought it already through their tax money.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask the same question on this side. What's an objection then?
Too expensive.
I like that. Too expensive. What else do we have?
I already have insurance.
I'll help you out to spouse. Okay. Anything else? The cool thing is, right, is like we're all on the phones, like we've all put up premium and we're like out there working. And I mean, look, this is, if you guys are having trouble overcoming objections, here's 3 right here that are the most common objections. So, I mean, if you don't take anything else away from this training right here, like write these down and start coming up with rebuttals for them, because this is all, if this is all we can think of, I mean, this must, if we only have to overcome these 3, I mean, that's a good thing, right? Here's something else that's pretty cool, right? This actually I would put over here as a smoke screen. Okay, so I would actually rephrase this as smoke screen. These aren't actually no's. Has anybody ever got hung up on a client before, called them 3-4 times, called them back and then made a sale?
Yes. I just automatically call them back if they hang up on me. I don't care how unpleasant. It's just an automatic response at this point.
Has anybody sold somebody who said thought it was free? Anybody's?
It's usually a misunderstanding, of what they think it is. If you
Yeah.
get past that initial punch in the face, then you're fine, but you got to get past that.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you can, but that's
And
just it. So let the little cooling off, and then you can readdress it.
yeah. Yeah, so these aren't actually no's, right? These aren't no's, but they feel like no's. Why? Because of our judgments. It feels like a no, right? If it's not a no, then what is it? It's a potential dollar amount that can go into your bank. I mean, this is why we're doing this, right? I mean, we're not doing this for free. So that means you should not be dispositioning any of these as like, do not call, withdraw, nurture, not interested, not quoted. Like that should not be any of these. Okay. What I do want you guys to get are no's. I want you guys to set a goal to get 5 no's. That's a low no goal too, if you think about it. Try to get 5 no's, like real no's. Well, what really is a no? If they really can't afford it, I mean, let's be real here. As much as we all say like, oh yeah, overcome the too expensive price. I mean, look, our demographic is our demographic. These folks are on Social Security. They literally are scrounging for money to eat some days. And if that's the case for them, I don't ethically feel okay selling them an insurance policy for $150 a month. Right? So like, if it's truly too expensive, I would just say too expensive can be a true no for sure. You can always revisit these, by the way. But anyways, for this practice, we'll say these are true no, too expensive. POA, anybody run across that? Power of attorney? And then you call the daughter back and the daughter already has $1 million in coverage on them because they have dementia and that's why they have power of attorney, or whatever the case is, right? Like these, that's a real no. If they really don't take care of their finances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They just, again, it's really going to come down to this. It's too expensive right now. And they do want the coverage, and maybe you can set a call back up next month when something's supposed to change, or they can call you back. Cause I've had people call me back because I won't, if it's past 30 days, I'm not following. I'm sorry. I can't follow up with you past like 2 months from now. No, it's not happening. These are like real no's. Objections can all be overcome with rebuttals, but try to get 5 true no's. The only way to get to a true no is by getting to a quote. If you haven't gotten to a quote yet, how can it possibly be a no? I'm not saying like take punishment from the leads, right? Like I'm not saying like try to entertain somebody who's like cussing you out and being super disrespectful. That's not what I'm saying. Like obviously keep it moving. If they're like, I don't need the insurance, da 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 da. That's another true no I would put here even. And these are easy because it's like no belief, you know? If they don't believe in the product, I'm not Jesus. Okay. I can't make you believe in life insurance or caring about your family. Sorry. It's not even part of my job. So if you just don't believe it, and believe in it and what it can do, and you don't have any family, I'm sure we've all took the life insurance exam about having insurability for these folks. That's not really insurability, interest or whatever it's called. So no belief. These are really the only true no's that you're going to get. Okay.
Well, if they decide that they hate you for some reason, that's a no.
Yeah. I mean, even then, how can they hate you though?
Well, I called one person on a Sunday afternoon,
Hmm.
and apparently that was their special day, and they got all mad, and they said, "Don't ever call me again."
Yeah. So, well, if they, okay, that's a good one too, because that's different than they don't hate you though. They can't, right?
Well, for the moment they did.
Right. But that's a DNC. So that's also a true no. Do not call. If you ever hear the words do not call me again, that's a, don't call them again. You don't want to get in legal trouble, right? But yeah, that's the thing is like we feel like we have these judgments about them. But the reality of the situation for most of these guys over here on these smoke screens, they hang up, they think it's free, it's local government, they don't like you, whatever it is, they've never met you, they're on the other side of the freaking state or the other side of the country. You could be their doctor. You just call it at the wrong time or whatever the case is. Okay. So that kind of brings me to the next point of like, how many times do you call like a lead, right? How many text messages should you send out?
I adopted a formula.